I think that's where I really found that's where my passion was, that I wanted to give to people. And I think knowledge is the biggest gift that you can give to anybody, and that's what I wanted to do.
Tracy then progressed through to, coaching the junior squads, and then was given the opportunity to work with a national squad.
I got first in 50 metres breaststroke, first in the 50 metres freestyle, first in the 50 metres backstroke, first in the 100 metres freestyle, and first in the 200 metres IM.
And did you expect to win all those events?
Some of them.
My coach, Doug Frost, moved to Sutherland, so she became Doug's assistant.
There was a very true strength of character for her to step back on pool deck to take on the role of assistant coach with a coach that she had worked under and probably had parted in not the best of ways with.
We started the slate clean and we worked in a really good environment, and he gave me many qualities as a coach is concerned.
You're doing the freestyle set, Dave.
It was good. He made me a very tough coach.
She's picked up some very good traits from him. I don't think too many bad, actually probably not any bad, which isn't, kind of criticising Doug or Tracy, but, they are two completely different people and take two different approaches.
You're starting to get run.
What would happen just about every day of our lives is that if we had a problem as an athlete, Tracy was always our first point of call.
When Doug used to go away with Ian on trips, and we used to think, Doug's away, we can muck up, we can, cut the session down. And Tracy would be taking us, we're going to go easy tonight, and we got halfway through it, and the school teacher came out and didn't we cop it.
Could be worse things in life.
Leading up to the 2000 Olympics, it was Tracy who was doing a lot of the coaching. So I feel that while I owe a lot to Doug, I also feel that without Tracy's input, I may still have been an age group swimmer before the Olympics and may never have made an Olympic team.
Justin Thompson in the water with the lead. Australia will get the silver.
The news came out first that Ian was going to change coaches. No names were mentioned. And so the question was, who? Is it me? or will it be somebody else? And who will it be?
I had a meeting with Tracy and put it to her, and she was very shocked and I think flattered at the same time and a little bit uncertain.
I thought I only possessed the qualities of an assistant coach, that I wasn't tough enough, as I was told. I wasn't tough enough to take on an elite program by myself.
It was, her being my assistant coach for 6 years. So, I did see how she was developing her skills and how she was developing, some of the younger athletes, what she was trying to do with programs. And, you start seeing things and then you notice more and more. And so that's how it all happened.
Who's the boss?
I am.
The people who were hoping it might be them were pretty vindictive.
What about the fact that Tracy is untested?
Well, you might say that. I don't think she is. I forget that I'm famous when I wake up in the morning, and then I'm reminded, once someone sees me. That's when I remember.
Ryan's willing to support the Australian Commonwealth Games.
Tracy hadn't experienced that. She hadn't kind of been exposed in the public eye or to the media, so it was a difficult time for her.
Okay, everyone's happy? Thank you.
She had to face a barrage of criticism of who is this person, how is she going to handle the job.
The success of the new coach-swimmer relationship will be measured by its results.
Just make sure that you concentrate to see how he's coming into the wall, like if his head speed, if he's driving with his head, then his legs turn.
And a coach, I think, has probably changed from being the person that holds a stopwatch to someone who has to be a psychologist, has to be a relationship consultant, has to be a friend, has to be a scientist, has to know how to do biomechanics. I guess a great coach is those that are prepared to do more of those things and be prepared to listen as well.
In our squad, we're made to feel that Swimming isn't everything. There's a life outside that, and that has just meant that so many of us have enjoyed swimming so much more because we've got that balance, because we've still got to retire from swimming later on and still got to sort of slip into hopefully a normal life after that.
Thanks, Tomo.
And that's her different attitude. You would not get that with many other coaches. You're meant to devote 100% of your life to swimming or to any sport that you're doing, and I don't think that's always in the best interest of the athlete.
There's coaches that will still have those dogmatic approaches that they own that athlete. They own their eating rights, they own their training rights, they own even their thinking. They're dictators. I don't see that it's a successful way of coaching.
Your body should be balanced. These merely assist you through the water. Your points from now on are my points.
Long term, what I want for my female athletes is to be able to, when they leave the sport, be able to have children. I don't think swimming is alone. I think there are several sports out there that are playing Russian roulette with their female athletes. They're allowing the body to do things that aren't normal. Hearing how coaches debate the issue, that if a female athlete hasn't started her periods at 17, 18, that it's not an issue of concern. As coaches, we're liable for the fact that if we're pushing their body to the edge, and we've got to be held accountable for what we've actually put these athletes through.
I think one of the major reasons that Tracy has copped so much criticism is because she's so open to new ideas. And also the fact that she participates in a lot of the things that we do. So she runs, she does boxing, yoga and weights.
People might think her being soft as being a weakness. It's not. I've seen Tracy lay the law down, but they respect her. When Tracy says you've got to do it, they know they've got to do it. She's not soft, no. No way. She's one hard lady, and it's unbelievable the way that they can do it and the way they've adapted to it, because they have a tremendous mental approach to it. And I put that down to Tracy.
I'm very difficult during competition. I'm emotional high, emotional low, and I'm up and down right before I race. So, Tracy helps me to get to that stage in being more relaxed.
At World Championships, he was getting suited up. 20 minutes it takes, just suit up. As I went to zip it up, I sort of twigged it the wrong way and I popped the zipper. And he's gone into this state of panic. We've got 12 minutes, I've got to be in the call room, I've got to be ready to go into the marshalling area. And I said, you'll be right, we'll get the suit on. Then I started giggling. He goes, this is not the moment that we need to be giggling. I said, well, I think we just need to have a relaxed atmosphere here. And he said, well, I'll tell you when it needs to be relaxed, when the suit's on.
They're away in the big event. Thorpe will take out the World Championship. Thorpe wins, no world record.
For Tracy, it was a case of, well, changes I've made in his program, year one, have had success. Let's see how we can go for the next preparation, which would be the Olympics.
What was an extremely difficult situation to deal with at the Olympic trials when I fell into the pool. I think Tracy dealt with it very well.
It was left to Thorpe's coach to do the talking.
Things happen, he is only human. He's not a machine, and we saw that yesterday.
I can just imagine how hard it would have been for her, not only being Ian's coach and being my former assistant coach, but also being a good friend of mine. She just said, it's your decision, you just do what you feel best, and I'm just going to stick with you no matter what you do. And
swimming's one part of what they do, but they're going to be friends for the rest of their life, and I think that's the thing that was really highlighted.
To realise that she was the only female coach to be named on the team since 1972, which is the year she was born, is a good insight into the achievement.
For me, being my first Olympics, it was so great to go through that with Tracy, because we'd be sitting on the bus and we'd go, hey Tracy, we're at the Olympics, and she'd go, I know, and just seeing how happy she was, and to be sharing that experience with was very special and something I'll treasure forever.
Beaten for 6 years, the 9 fastest times.
And I think Tracy's biggest challenge was probably just having me perform.
Representing Australia, Ian Paul.
In front, Hackett's close.
Watching her at the Olympics and seeing how Ian raced just made me cry at 2:45 a.m. in the morning, and just feeling such joy for both of them.
Hackett's very close, really close, closing.
I think he held a lot on his shoulders that night when he raced, and to see the emotion, it wasn't until I saw footage of him, the emotion in his face, that it was like a sheer relief that it was over. When he'd finished in the cool-down pool, I just said to him, I want you to swim everything now for you. And he sort of looked at me and just gave me a smile, and I think he knew what I'd meant, that this was his Olympics and he had to stand out there and do it for himself.
Winner of the gold medal and Olympic champion, representing Australia, Ian Paul.
Compromise to at least 15 metres in each 50 head down.
Yeah, the compromise was the 3-3.
Compromise is 3 and 3.
I think it's been good that he has had a bit of a break and time to grow as a person.
Yes, double jeopardy here.
I'm very chuffed that Kirsten Thompson's come back into our program, and Craig. It's like the old team's back again. I think it's the relationships that you make with your athletes, the relationships you make with the families. I think that's probably the most rewarding thing for me, and my wedding day, knowing that I had all my athletes and all their parents there for the day, means that I've touched their lives, and that's a real reward for me as a coach.